On a foggy July evening at San Francisco International Airport, a sense of routine hung in the air as flights arrived and departed, their lights barely visible through the thick mist. SFO is no stranger to delays and surprises, but what happened next would send shockwaves through the aviation world. Delta Flight 2809 from Minneapolis touched down smoothly, its passengers unaware that their journey was about to take a dramatic turn. As the plane taxied to the gate, federal agents and airport police suddenly converged on the aircraft, their presence unmistakable and urgent. Passengers, expecting nothing more than a routine arrival, were caught off guard. Before anyone could unbuckle their seatbelts or reach for their bags, law enforcement officers boarded the plane, moving quickly and purposefully toward the cockpit, their intentions clear but unexplained. The arrest of a commercial pilot immediately after landing is almost unheard of in modern aviation. Such a public and sudden intervention raised urgent questions about airline safety, pilot conduct, and the systems in place to protect passengers. The sight of armed officers escorting a uniformed co-pilot off the plane was jarring. Passengers and crew watched in disbelief as the pilot, once trusted with their lives, was led away in handcuffs. The incident shattered the sense of security and routine that so many take for granted when flying. This dramatic event wasn't just a headline or a fleeting moment of airport chaos. It forced everyone present, and many more watching from afar, to reconsider the immense trust placed in those at the controls of a commercial jet. The image of an empty cockpit and a pilot's hat left behind became a symbol of uncertainty. As news of the arrest spread rapidly, the mystery and anxiety lingered, echoing far beyond the airport's walls. Travelers, airline staff, and the public were left with more questions than answers, and the story of Delta Flight 2809's unexpected ending became a topic of national conversation. Delta Flight 2809's journey from Minneapolis to San Francisco was, by all appearances, uneventful. Passengers settled in for a standard flight, with nothing to suggest the drama awaiting them. A go-around due to fog caused a minor delay, but the crew handled it smoothly, just another day in the skies. Unbeknownst to everyone on board, one pilot was under federal investigation. Authorities chose not to intervene mid-flight, waiting until the plane was safely at the gate. The routine nature of the flight made the sudden law enforcement action all the more jarring. What seemed like an ordinary trip became the stage for a meticulously planned arrest. As the jet bridge connected, a team of federal agents swiftly boarded, heading straight for the cockpit. Passengers froze as officers bypassed them, storming the front of the plane. The co-pilot was handcuffed and led through the cabin, his stunned colleagues and passengers watching in disbelief. Agents returned to collect his belongings, securing evidence with clinical efficiency. The captain, visibly shaken, admitted he had no idea what was happening. The secrecy of the operation ensured safety, but left everyone else in the dark. The professionalism of the arrest was chilling, underscoring the seriousness of the investigation. For those on board, the line between routine and crisis had vanished in an instant. After the arrest, a heavy silence gripped the cabin. Passengers, still buckled in, exchanged anxious glances and texted loved ones about the surreal scene. With no explanation from crew or authorities, rumors spread. Was it terrorism, a threat, or something from the pilot's past? The captain's honest confusion offered little comfort, and flight attendants struggled to maintain calm. As passengers finally deplaned, they found no answers, just a lingering sense of unease. Delta and law enforcement offered no immediate statements, fueling frustration and speculation. The lack of communication left travelers feeling like bystanders in a drama they never signed up for. The trust between passengers and airline had been deeply shaken. In the days after the arrest, silence from Delta and federal agencies only deepened the mystery. Delta deferred all questions to law enforcement, citing an ongoing investigation, while officials refused to reveal the co-pilot's identity or the charges. This secrecy, though standard in active cases, left the public uneasy and speculation rampant. Key questions about the nature of the threat, the length of the investigation, and the safety protocols remained unanswered. The information vacuum eroded confidence, turning a single arrest into a broader concern about aviation security. The recent arrest at San Francisco International Airport is not an isolated event, but rather part of a deeply troubling pattern of pilot misconduct that has come to light in recent years. These incidents have sent shockwaves through the aviation industry and have raised serious questions about the systems in place to ensure passenger safety. Just weeks before the SFO incident, a Delta Airlines pilot was arrested in Sweden after allegedly failing a breathalyzer test before he was scheduled to operate a transatlantic flight. The pilot was removed from duty before takeoff, but the event highlighted the ongoing risks posed by substance abuse among flight crew and the critical importance of pre-flight screening. In another shocking case earlier this year, a JetBlue pilot was taken into custody right in the cockpit at JFK Airport, facing serious child exploitation charges. This incident not only stunned the public, but also raised urgent concerns about the effectiveness of background checks and ongoing monitoring of airline personnel. And in 2023, a Delta co-pilot was indicted after allegedly threatening to shoot his captain during a flight. The chilling details of this case underscored the potential dangers of unchecked psychological stress and interpersonal conflict in the cockpit. These incidents, while rare, shine a harsh spotlight on vulnerabilities in the industry's screening processes, psychological evaluations, and internal reporting systems. They reveal gaps that could allow individuals unfit for duty to slip through the cracks, putting passengers and crew at risk. Each of these cases is deeply alarming on its own, but when viewed together, they point to systemic issues that go beyond individual failings. Issues that demand urgent and comprehensive attention from airlines, regulators, and the public alike. The trust that passengers place in their pilots is absolute. Every time we board a plane, we put our lives in the hands of those in the cockpit. Recent events have put that trust to the test, leaving many to wonder how such incidents could happen in an industry known for its rigorous standards. Now, the aviation industry faces a reckoning. Airlines and regulators must confront the challenge of ensuring that only the most qualified, stable, and reliable individuals are entrusted with the responsibility of flight. The safety of millions depends on it. Every flight is built on trust. Trust in the airline, the crew, and especially the pilots. When passengers step onto an aircraft, they place their safety and well-being in the hands of people they may never meet. This invisible contract is what makes commercial aviation possible, allowing millions to travel each day with peace of mind. High-profile arrests like the one at SFO shatter the illusion of infallibility in the cockpit. Such incidents are rare, but their impact is profound, making headlines and sparking conversations about safety standards and oversight. Suddenly, the public is reminded that pilots, like anyone else, are human and capable of mistakes or lapses in judgment. The lack of transparency from airlines and authorities only heightens anxiety, leaving passengers to wonder if they were ever in danger. When information is withheld or unclear, rumors and speculation fill the void, often making the situation seem worse than it is. Passengers may question whether similar incidents have gone unreported or if their own flights were ever at risk. This uncertainty can lead to increased fear of flying and scrutiny of every crew member. Even routine actions by pilots and flight attendants may be viewed with suspicion, as nervous travelers look for reassurance in every gesture and announcement. The atmosphere on board can become tense, with trust eroded by doubt. Most pilots are dedicated professionals, but the actions of a few cast a shadow over the entire profession. The vast majority uphold the highest standards of safety and conduct, yet public perception can be shaped by a single negative event. It takes time and effort to rebuild the reputation that is so easily damaged. Rebuilding trust requires more than silence. It demands open communication and visible action. Airlines must address concerns directly, explain the steps being taken to prevent future incidents, and show a commitment to transparency. Only then can they begin to restore the confidence that is essential for their business. The perception of safety is as crucial as safety itself for the future of air travel. Passengers need to feel that their concerns are heard, and that their safety is always the top priority, both in words and in actions. Restoring confidence is now a top priority for the industry. The path forward will require transparency, accountability, and a renewed focus on the passenger experience. Because without trust, the skies become a little less friendly for everyone. The aviation industry stands at a crossroads, forced to confront the human vulnerabilities behind the controls. Enhanced screening, more frequent psychological evaluations, and continuous background checks are needed to catch risks early. Random substance testing and a stronger culture of confidential reporting can help prevent crises before they unfold. Transparency is key. Airlines must communicate openly with passengers after incidents, offering support and information. Proactive safety measures and public accountability will help restore trust. The industry must show it's learning from these events, not just reacting to them. Only by addressing both human and systemic factors can airlines reinforce the foundation of trust. The future of safe air travel depends on decisive action, so every passenger can board with confidence.